What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with a little bit of Warframe, and today we are again in our free-to-play series. We are going to be taking on the Ceres boss, which is a dual boss fight against Lech Kril and Captain Vor. Now, this may seem like a rather daunting task, having to fight two bosses at one time, but these are both bosses you have already fought in the game at Phobos and on Mercury, and it's really not that hard of a fight. At the same time, you should have the Heck shotgun with some decent shotgun mods if you've been following along with the free-to-play series, and it's going to make pretty short work of this battle. So your strategy basically is you want to kind of run around and stay out of sight of these guys for the most part. You have a lot of cover on the top platform where you wind up having to fight them, and you want to focus on Captain Vor first because he is probably one of the biggest pushovers in this game in terms of a bad guy that likes to talk a lot of trash, but when it comes down to it, he's one of the easier bosses to defeat. With the Heck, you should only need 4 or 5 shots into him before he enters his recharge phase, which he'll go through 3 times before you finally kill him. Stay out of range of his attacks, and then just hammer him down with the Heck. It's pretty easy to kill him off first, and once he's gone, then you can focus on Lech Kril. The reason I say this is because Lech Kril does take a little bit of high maintenance to defeat. You kind of have to pay attention to his hammer swings and bait him into his attacks so you can shoot the little pipes on his back. And that can be kind of hard to do if you've got Captain Vor shooting at you and summoning his adds. So just focus on Captain Vor first, eliminate him, take him out of the fight, and then you can put all of your damage into Lech Kril. Now, he is pretty easy to bait. All you want to do is kind of roll at him or bullet jump over him, and that will cause him to swing his hammer, and then you want to shoot at the pipes on his back until they break loose. And then once those have fully broken loose, he will try to hit you with his hammer, and when he hits the ground, he will freeze, and then you're able to do some damage to him. Now, once you're able to shoot all of the pipes off his back, he will then enter into his phase where he uses his machine gun and can attack you with fire. And at that point, with the Heck, you're just going to mow him down. He's not at all difficult to defeat. Once he gets into that stage where you can openly damage him, you should be able to take him out with 5 or 6 shots, depending on how well modded your Heck is. But either way, this is a very easy boss fight to get through. You have a lot of area to run around in, a lot of cover, and as I said, Captain Vor's pushover, you can take him out relatively quickly. And then one of the other things you also might want to pay attention to is just the adds that may run up on you during the fight. But like I said, not that terribly difficult. You should get through this pretty easily. For this battle, I've been using Rhino. I've been using Rhino a lot through this playthrough. I used to not really be a big fan of Rhino, but I'm really liking his setup and just him as an overall Warframe as I've been doing this this free-to-play playthrough. Normally I would just suggest using Excalibur for most of the content, but it's actually been kind of enjoyable to run through it with Rhino and play with him instead. So one of the reasons we are also going to do this boss fight, we have to do it to get to the next junction, but we also will be able to get the Trinity Warframe parts off of these bosses. So it's a good thing they're easy to beat because we're going to farm this until we are able to build Trinity. Trinity is mostly a support frame. She's one of the few Warframes that can heal, and she's very good at it, restoring energy, healing hit points, and other things, and she is a very valuable part of a team once you start getting into some matchmaking activities, and if you plan on playing raids later, it can be good to have a really well formed out Trinity. And she's just a Warframe that we want to have in our arsenal, so we are going to farm her parts. We're going to get her blueprint from the market. And these bosses also drop the blueprints for the miter, which is kind of a cool gun. It's a gun that shoots like circular saw blades, and they do a decent amount of damage. It's not a great weapon, but it's really one of the more creative weapons in Warframe, and it's just a fun weapon to use. It's not something we're going to be using throughout the game, but it's a fun mastery rank fodder weapon, and just the fact that you can shoot giant saw blades all over the map is pretty cool. So we'll be farming that too. Those are the 2 items you can get from both of these bosses. But Trinity really is the most important. We'll be farming her, and then we can build her. And pretty soon we're going to have a pretty good array of Warframes we can choose from, as we have several that we're working on right now. And once you've defeated these bosses and completed the Archwing quest, which I have a separate video up for that entire quest if you want to watch that, you will finally unlock the Ceres Junction to go to Jupiter. And at the end of this video, you'll actually see some footage from that as well. I'm not sure if my commentary is going to last all the way through to the end, but we'll see. But you will have to fight the Valkyr Warframe at this junction, and she's one of the harder junction bosses, mainly because she has so much armor and she can kill you very, very quickly. What you're going to want to do for that boss fight is you're actually going to want to use a Warframe with a stun ability, which is good because we have Rhino with his stomp, and we also have Excalibur with his radial blind. You can use either one of these Warframes, which you should have at this point quite easily, to defeat her. You can also use, I believe, Volt and Mag. All the starter frames have a stunning ability that can be used on Valkyr in this junction battle. But you basically want to stun her as soon as you can and then just wail on her with whatever you have. She has a very high amount of armor, so it's going to be a little difficult to take her down. It will take you a little bit of time. The first bit you're going to see here where I fight against her, we actually are going to use Rhino. We're going to use our Rhino Stomp, and then we're just going to mow her down with whatever we can until she's dead. And then I offered you an alternative as well. If you go in with Excalibur, you literally can just pop your Exalted Blade and just wail on her until she's dead. Either way will work. The Excalibur way is going to be a little bit faster and a little bit easier. You can also use your Radial Blind on her and then wail away with your Exalted Blade again. But they did change this up. It used to be you could actually one-shot her with Excalibur. You could literally just blind her and stab her in the back and assassinate her. And they've changed it up a little bit. They've patched that out, made her a little bit more difficult to the point you actually do have to just use conventional means to bring her down. And like I said, you just want to stun her as quickly as possible and just keep her perma-stunned this entire fight. You will regain energy as you fight her, so you're going to have plenty of energy to use your abilities. And then just mow her down with whatever you can. If you have a weapon that's modded for armor damage, if you can do Corrosive, which is basically electric, plus Toxic, that will help you out a little bit here. But that's really all you can do is just stun her, keep her stunned, and then just mow her down. If you do not keep her stunned, she can literally kill you in 2 or 3 hits, and you won't be able to get through the junction. But once you defeat her, you'll be able to move on to Jupiter. We'll get some Arcwing mods as rewards, and another weapon blueprint that's going to be a master rank fodder weapon, but something we can use just to build up some affinity. And then we'll have Jupiter. Now once Jupiter opens up, we're going to really start to enter one of the fun phases of the game where we have all kinds of stuff to do. We're going to have a lot of different Warframes to create. Right now in the Foundry we have Frost, Trinity, I believe we have Nyx, we have all the parts to build Oberon, we have most of the parts to build Vauban, so we've got another 4 or 5 Warframes we're going to be able to pick up here in very short order. And that's when the game starts to take off a little bit, is when you have a bigger arsenal of Warframes to use. You'll be able to start learning how to the different play styles and leveling them all up to rank 30 to give you a good feel for how you can use them in the game. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for the Lech Kril and Captain Vor boss fight. In addition to the Ceres Junction, we're going to be moving on to Jupiter now in future videos and getting through to that part. I'll probably do a catch-up video here soon where we go through the Foundry and everything else. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. Hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.